The BAFTA Award for Outstanding British Contribution to Cinema goes to the amazing John Hurt.
Thank you. Heaven alone knows. Sit down. Who would have thought all those years ago that I would be sharing the stage of the Royal Opera House, the Royal Opera House, Covent Garden, with Billy Bob Thornton? How fabulous.
How was that? Was that emotional?
It was rather emotional, and it's always difficult. But they're a lovely audience, so it was all right in the end.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
And I love your wife's advice. 2012 marks 50 years since your screen debut. Quite a fitting way to celebrate your jubilee.
Well, it is, I suppose, isn't it? Yes, I wondered whether that was contrived, but I don't think so. No. It just happens to be 50 years this year.
I know.
Yeah.
And your parents wouldn't let you go to the cinema, would they? And then your headmaster said that you wouldn't make it as an actor? Is that
well,
right?
that he did say. Yes,
Yeah.
that was the irresponsible bit. I don't think that any headmaster should, if they're going to have a boy of 16 years old to come in and talk about what they want to do in their life, I don't think they should ever be so cut and dried and so negative. My parents, not entirely true. They didn't really like the cinema because in those days, cinema was still quite young, I suppose.
Yeah.
And it was considered a little bit common. And my mother was very determined to be anything but common. Yeah.
Wonderful.
So,
and in all the movies that you've made, and there have been so many, do you think there was one that was perhaps pivotal in your career that turned things around?
Oh, that's always a very difficult one to say. I think if there's what you're kind of talking about is the break, isn't it?
Yes.
You know,
Your
the
lucky
chance,
break.
the
Yeah.
big chance. Well, I think my big chance was an odd one, really, which is not surprising because it's quite an odd career.
Yeah.
But it was playing Quentin Crisp in The Naked Civil Servant in 1975. That was the thing that changed the public's perception of me as a performer, and indeed the business's perception of me as a performer. So I think I would have to say that was pivotal.
Did you meet the great man himself?
But then on the other hand, doing something like Man for All Seasons with Fred Zinnemann was hugely pivotal too. So I mean, it's very difficult
It's
to say.
really hard to choose.
It's
It'd be hard to choose one. How have you seen the industry change in the last 5 years, the British film industry?
Well, I never have called it an industry. I've always called it a business. We don't have an industry as such. And we have a business which goes up and down. It fluctuates. At the minute, I think there's a huge amount of talent around. And if we continue to educate our audiences as well as we can, and I say educate, not in a sort of awful schoolmastery, wagging finger kind of a way, but I mean proper education, understanding what film is about, the fact that cinema is a different medium. It's a different medium from literature and so on. The more we can keep doing that, the better, and it seems to be, and also the more cosmopolitan which Britain is becoming anyway, which is fantastic for film. I think all the indications are good.
Good. Encourage the young people coming through
I
and
hope
inspire
so,
them
yeah,
with
absolutely.
fantastic films.
I hope so. Yeah.
Congratulations,
Thank you
John.
very much.
Lovely speaking to you.
Thank
Thanks
you.
for coming to talk to us, and have a wonderful night.
Thank you very much. I'm sure I will.